is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Russell Street Report film room here on Two Guys Watching Football. We are going to get into the struggles of the Baltimore Ravens red zone offense and answer the question, why the heck couldn't they score? If you guys are looking forward to this, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new here. Let's get right into it. So the Ravens red zone offense was solid to start the year. 1 for 2 for touchdowns against the Jets, 2 for 3 against Miami, 5 for 5 against New England. And then in 8 attempts over the last 3 weeks, they have just 3 touchdowns, 1 in each game. Obviously, the one in Buffalo was the pick to seal it. Cincy, it was an issue. Yesterday, it was an issue. Basically, we're going to look at all 9 plays. They called 9 red zone plays inside the 20 of their opponent, 7 passes, 2 runs. I tried my best to talk about the play selection. I know that was frustrating to people. I point out what I would have done, why I liked some of the things they did. Don't worry, it wasn't everything. So let's get right into the film.
10 at the New York Giants 16. This is right after the 2-minute warning. The play that led us in here was the 18-yard completion to Mark Andrews. Before that, it was a 30-yard run by Kenyon Drake. Before that, a 16-yard pass from Lamar to Mark Andrews. So they're moving the ball very consistently. They started at 3:31 on their own 25. They started with actually a full start, 16 yards for a first down, 30 yards, 18. So big chunk plays to move the ball downfield, 2 big passes and 1 big run. So, in terms of play call selection, it seemed like everything was working. And let's watch it through and see what happens here. There's Lamar going to motion Kenyon Drake over. You're going to get Josh Oliver coming on the crossing route. Lamar misses a little bit. And then that was the play that got reviewed and obviously was overturned. So the way the Giants are stacking the line here, I think, is important because we're going to see this throughout their trips to the red zone. Where's my marker? Not coming in. There it is. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 guys on the line. That's going to be pretty consistent. As you can see, once the ball is snapped, they're going to bring all 1, 2, 3. They're going to bring all 5 that were on the line of scrimmage. So what that does behind the play is it creates some of these nice one-on-one matchups. So you got Drake coming out of the backfield there. You got Oliver on the crossing route. You got Andrews running a deep crosser. They're basically running a crisscross this way. And then you're going to have Duvernay down deep. And so this was really like wide open play. Lamar kind of saw it a little bit later than I think he'd like. And honestly, you can see the ball placement here. Just overthrows it. So Oliver did his best to try and bring it in. Incompletion. So in terms of play design, play choice, I think it got a guy open. The pass was there and it was an incomplete. So I think the play design worked the way you wanted it to. So that brings us to 2nd and 10. Watch it through here and then break it down. Duvernay's going to run that flag that we've seen a few times. And what do we have on the defensive line? We have another stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this 5th guy is going to... Let's see what the D-line does first before we look at... Yeah, so they're going to bring just 4 on this one. So they're sitting back. This is where I can understand some of the frustration with the constant passing after they've gotten some big chunk yards on the ground. They go right back to the run game, or to the pass game, sorry. That said, it looks like the Giants are playing cover 2. There's a bit of a shot here to Duvernay. Tough throw, but it's just, there's not even a shot to make a play on the ball. I think Lamar's protecting from, I think they're in cover 2. Looks like cover 2. This guy just gets a little bit more depth. See how he's much deeper than on this side. So that's what it looks like here. But again, just a ball that doesn't even really have much of a play on it. But where they could have probably gone to the run was on a play like this and really shorten it up, because now with an incompletion, you're at 3rd and 10. At the 16, you're stuck passing. And so the Ravens come out with this look. Watch it through. Looks like the Giants bring the heat and a Mark Andrews drop. So this really kind of highlights, well, let's see what the Giants do first. I mean, we all know Wink Martindale. He's going to bring the pressure on 3rd down. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man pressure coming. And actually, the offensive line does an awesome job picking it up. Lamar's able to get set, delivers a very good ball. Little high, but I mean, there, you can see it right there, 2 hands on the ball. Mark Andrews just drops it. And it looks like that would have been enough for the first down. So maybe a little short, but you're setting up 4th and short. So, I mean, this first drive, they obviously kicked the field goal after this. Yeah, this is the next drive. So, I just sum up the first kind of trip to the red zone. You know, I think it really shows the inconsistency. You know, the O-line actually played pretty well, but, you know, you get a missed throw, 2 missed throws, you get a drop on a throw that was very, very catchable. So it really shows kind of the issues here. I also think you could definitely question that 2nd and 10 running on it. I think they went to the pass on 1st and 10 because they were expecting pressure right away. They got a 5-man pressure, so not necessarily a blitz, but you got the one-on-ones opened up behind it. So really, you know, part of my issue is not going to the run game on the 2nd down play, and then also the inconsistent execution obviously caused issues. So now we are at 13-7 Baltimore. Is that right? Yeah, 13-7 Baltimore. What got us down into this range? Let me just make sure I got the right plays here. So Baltimore took over the ball at the 31. They had a 21-yard gain by Kenyon Drake, a 14-yard pass to Mark Andrews, an 18-yard pass to Andrews, and then that sets up the play we're about to watch here. So we're 1st and 10 on the Giants 16 again, and they're going to go to the run game. This is the inverted veer. We know it's inverted veer because you're going to get the running back option on the sweep. Lamar's keep is on the dive. You're getting Powers pulling, sometimes called power read. So they're going to set this is the read man here. He's obviously taking Drake's route. I don't blame them. He was ripping off some chunk runs. You get that. Look at that down block by Pat Ricard on Thibodeau. Watch what he does. Watch this outside hand. See that? Let me show you here. Watch this outside paw right here, completely clasped down, because that's what opens up this massive hole. He actually blocked him into Powers. Man, if Powers goes through his, gets around Ricard here, because that's really what messed it up. Ricard wants to drive him that way, but Thibodeau jet inside so quickly that it kind of went right into Powers' pull. Ideally, Powers is pulling this way, so that's a tough one, because if he gets around, look at, Powers is all caught up there, but if Powers is able to get into the safety here, and that's where Lamar's going, straight up, and then he sees that, so he's got to kind of break it out. But you're looking at pretty explosive gain there, possibly 6 up the middle. So unfortunate there, but still, Lamar gets you down to the 5-yard line. Beautiful run. That sets up. This is the exact moment where all the frustration has come from in terms of play choice. So they've run the ball extremely well. On this drive alone, they've had gains of 11 and 21 on the ground. Go back to the previous drive, they had that 30-yard run to Kenyon Drake. They're 1st and 5, and they go 3 straight passes. So I would say, the box isn't overly stacked here. They kind of set out a little bit wide. I think they're in technically, I think Likely's on the field, so they might be in 22 personnel because you have Ricard aligned right here as a tight end. So let's watch the play, and then we'll break it down. Play action. They're going to blitz, man up the middle. So this is where, if you guys are going to drop a comment down below, this is what I really like to get your thoughts on. Because the purpose, what they're doing here is they want to use play action, get these linebackers up, and really open up. You got 2 crossing routes here. And, one of them's open. But the blitz comes through so cleanly. And honestly, if you look, I don't think anyone on the offensive line did something wrong. You got a guy blocking everyone. The free rusher comes through the backside A-gap. That's normal. That becomes Lamar's read. And so I think part of the issue was the extra step here from Lamar. Watch. Right there. See how he took a couple extra steps? Now his base is flat. And he's essentially, look at that. Look at his base from the throw. So a lot of that is just the pressure. But when people talk about anticipating throws, could he have set right here, right, instead of taking the extra steps and thrown the ball into this area for, like, there's no defender over there. So could he have thrown that open? That's kind of the frustration. So, I mean, I get it. This is what Wink does, right? He sends pressure and it causes, offenses to sputter because of it. We saw him do it for years in Baltimore, but I don't know, guys. I think you got to complete that pass. The wide receiver's open. So now, again, you're at 2nd and 5 on the Giants' 5. Not running the ball seems a little crazy to me, but here's the play. Another play action. But again, and I showed both. I think I have the other angle. I should. Let me see if I do, because you can see kind of what happens here at the end. Yeah. So watch the ball when it comes out. So there's the play action. So you're going to see Andrews break open. Honestly, fantastic pass blocking. Look at that wall. It's a wall of beef. And Andrews, but you get the deflection there from this defender. I don't know how clearly you can see it. You guys can notice right now the sunlight on the camera has caused a huge glare. But he deflects this ball. And, I mean, it kind of leads to the drop, but, I mean, it's still hitting him in the hands. That's a tough one. That's kind of back-to-back plays where a wide receiver is wide open, and they just can't execute, but for two different reasons. Lamar misses Duvernay. Now you got Mark Andrews dropping the ball. That sets up the 3rd down, so this is 3rd and 5. So, again, still no run. And just not much there in terms of separation. That's why I picked this angle. You know, he kind of waits till he can't throw this ball. I know some people were saying Lamar threw it late. He can't throw until this defender's cleared up. He's got to throw the ball here-ish, and you got this defender right here. So he can't just like throw that until he stepped up. He waits till he steps up. He throws as he did. Great break on the ball from the defender. It's kind of not particularly close, but even if it was, I think that's Adoree Jackson. I'm not 100% sure, but just, not able to get it done. So there, another field goal. After this one, I think this makes it 13-7. Yeah. Next play. So this is all the first 2 drives were in the first half. Now we're in the second half. This is set up by, you get a Lamar Jackson 25-yard run, a couple runs from Drake, 11-yard pass to Likely, another 15-yard run from Kenyon Drake. They go right to the run game first. Not a lot going on there. Drake kind of makes something out of nothing. This is just going to be, this is that counter read, so they're going to get 2 pullers. And this is one of the issues with this play is, wow, I mean, look how slow Stanley comes off the ball. That was kind of part of the problem, but this is Stanley's man, 54. And that's mostly because the first puller, which is Ben Powers, cuts it up a little bit. He kind of did it again here where you got Ricard coming and takes the crasher. They both kind of block the same guy, see? So instead of having one loop for 54, and then you'd still technically get Stanley, but I think he's probably too slow to get in front of Drake here. But now you got Drake one-on-one against nobody, and Powers makes the marquee mistake. Watch Powers. Never turn your back. Oh, this drove me crazy. Doing this, what is this going to do for you? Keep working upfield. If he works upfield instead and clears a bit of a gap there, I mean, he's not going to get that edge, but if he ever did, at least someone's blocked. That drives me crazy. And then this is the Mark Andrews touchdown. Andrews gets motioned across, and then watch the release here. Watch him stick this foot. Boop. Swim. And, the difference. So what's the difference in when they score a touchdown? They execute, It's a called pass on 2nd and 8. And great route by Andrews. Great release. He's open. Lamar throws it perfectly. There's even a bobble here on the ball, but he secures it and gets 6. So, I mean, you can see the clear execution differences. Let's go wrap it up.